All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another brand new episode of the Tip Dish Podcast. I'm Eduardo. As always, of course, I don't need to introduce myself, and I'm gonna do it anyways because I just want to. With me in the Virgin Studio, I got my boy Brett, of course. And today we got awesome special guests, and we're gonna let them do the honors of introducing themselves. So whatever way you want to start it, boys, go ahead and let the people know who you are.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Nick. Woo! What's up? We're P-FunkNorth, straight out of Doity, Jersey, East Coast reggae rock, alternative rock reggae fusion. Thank you guys for having us, and we're looking forward to it. I'm Dave. I play the bass. I slap at the bass, man.
Okay.
And I sing the songs. And to my left here,
I'm Kevin. Play the guitar. Sing.
Kevin, okay.
Yeah. What's good? I'm Ryan. I play drums, do the backing vocals, and I also do all the recording.
He's our engineer extraordinaire. Okay. He's our guitar god. So we're P-FunkNorth, and we're very happy to be here.
Woo! Nice. Awesome.
And I didn't hear you guys say who your songwriter is. Is Drake your songwriter or no? Okay.
Drake, like the guy from Degrassi.
Degrassi. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
No, I mean I write most of the stuff. But they put in their work too, and they write some songs, and we collaborate on progressions and chords, and it's awesome. Very fortunate.
Awesome. How long you guys been together as P-FunkNorth?
Interesting question.
Right.
That's an interesting question.
Let's get this party started.
The story of P-FunkNorth. Yeah, shots.
Let's go. That's what it's all about.
The story of P-FunkNorth takes us way back to the days of 2013 in North Plainfield, New Jersey. North Plainfield, that's where I grew up. And growing up, we always called it P-FunkNorth because P-Funk is, George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic. And so we're always P-FunkNorth. North Plainfield's always P-FunkNorth. And we started jamming. A couple different guys have come in and out, but the idea has always been the same. We're just looking to have a good time and keep spreading good vibes and rocking out.
Yeah.
These fine gentlemen next to me, I'll start with Ryan here. He came in and
it was 2016. So 2016, I started recording with the first album. I wasn't actually in the band. I was just producing the first record.
He wanted to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were on tour together, and pretty much I hung out with P-FunkNorth the entire time. I was pretty much hanging with them.
We stole him from his band, and we just we're just blazing all over the Midwest.
Meant to be.
I was in like a 7-person ska band. It was way more chill hanging with like the 3-person reggae band. A lot more room,
Yeah.
And a lot more weed. So
more room for activity.
You got you got to go where the perks are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Perks of being a wallflower. And I love the wallflowers, by the way. Speaking of wallflowers, I guess, I don't know. Are you a wallflower, Kevin?
Depends.
Depends.
On certain days.
Depends on what strain.
Yeah, because Kevin's a huge stoner. We can't stop him. He's like,
I can't keep up with him.
He's always got his lips on the bong. So.
I'm so jealous. I literally can't smoke weed because my profession doesn't allow me to smoke it.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, and so wait, I wanted to ask Eddie a quick question before we actually start with you guys. You guys are already going to know the answer, but Eddie, I have a question for you.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm gonna start the sentence and you're gonna finish it.
Okay.
All my heroes are
potheads.
Oh,
come on, man! I got to do a little bit of research before I step into this. Come on, man.
So
nice.
So who are some of your heroes then? Let's start with that.
Okay. For me personally, I've always been obsessed with Sublime. So Brad,
I hear it.
Marshall, Miguel, Long Beach Dub All Stars, that whole thing, which is epic. Also, love Blind Melon, Eve 6. I listen to everything, but those are some of the primary influences for me. I don't know about these guys.
Yeah, definitely Jimi Hendrix, one of my favorite guitar players.
Oh yeah, he's from Seattle. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Woo! Is it raining?
I want to get out there one day.
Oh, it's sunny.
Time. No, hey, it's always raining.
Oh, okay, it's always raining.
You see that background? It's sunny and nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Alice in Chains, like Jerry Cantrell, one of my favorite guitar players.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell, one of my favorite entertainers. You know, I'm basically like a Seattle scene person.
No
Yeah,
shit.
seems like it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Love that,
Wow.
love that 90s rock, 90s grunge.
There was nothing like that, right?
Yeah. I wasn't alive for it, but
oh no! Oh, you're young cat, huh?
He's the youngest. He's 14.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, man, times have changed.
Wow, life has rode you hard.
He came out of the womb with a full head of hair and a goatee.
Everything. Nice.
I know all about it. I could take off my shirt and put you all to shame.
He won't. He won't. So yeah, that's awesome. And his like heavier influences are now really shining in some of our new music and shit. So on that note, Ryan is also has an eclectic taste. So
I listen to freaking everything, but I mean, generally for drummers, I would probably say like Stuart Copeland, big influence. Neil Peart, absolutely. Absolutely love Derek Grant from Suicide Machines and Alkaline Trio. There's so many, man. But yeah, I mean, those would probably be my top drummers, 100%.
Yeah. Oh man, right on.
So Ryan started playing with us as a full percussionist. Like he had the congas, the bongos, he had a sample pad. He was triggering echoes.
Like a whole like
he was triggering samples, echoes, percussion, like chimes, shakers, everything. And then eventually he moved into just the drummer and on the behind the kit. And we've been rocking that for a few years. And then a couple years ago, we had the pleasure to start jamming with Kevin. And it's a match made in heaven, like 7-Eleven.
I like 7-Eleven.
Yeah, we do too. Absolutely. Love
the hot dogs.
You know, when I was young, I'm old now. I've got kids, wife, all that funly, domestic life, right? And but when I was young, I was in the hip hop scene, and I see you guys open actually for some big bands. You guys open for Sublime with Rome, all the other names I forget.
Obi Trice too, right? If I remember correctly.
Real names, no gimmicks.
Yeah,
yeah, that's awesome.
But you guys have such a West Coast vibe. I mean, such a sound and just a way of life, and maybe that shouldn't come as a surprise now after hearing some of your influences, but I mean all of you, but it's so I'm like these guys are coming out of Jersey. This is not the music, when I hear Jersey, I think of Redman, I think of Sopranos, I think of I am not thinking of stoners on a beach talking about all my best friends are potheads. That's not what comes to mind. So you're changing the whole landscape and the view, and you're changing the scene, huh?
We're California dreaming on the East Coast, baby. So
California dreaming, West Coast scheming.
We'll be coming out there. We'll be coming
triple
out
teaming.
Already know.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good. That's good. So you guys you have a record out right now. How many records do you have?
Well, we did most recently, we put out a couple singles and a full live album that we did from Facebook live stream sessions. But Ryan, Weil House Productions, did all his mixing and mastering at the studio. So we're very proud of that. So we got a lot of we put out a single, Anxiety, in April, which was kind of fitting for the times last year. And then in the summer, we put out All My Heroes Are Potheads, which we've still kind of been riding that wave, as annoying as it is for everyone else. But it's a lot of fun. And now, like with the summer coming up, excited to actually be able to play out more and let people sing along and have a good time and laugh.
Sure.
Yeah. How did you guys do, like traveling, doing all this, like through the whole pandemic? Because obviously that had to have hit you guys in a way.
Oh yeah. I mean, we went from playing a lot of shows to pretty much, I mean, it's just nothing. It's just like dead stop. I mean, fortunately, at Weil House Productions, that's my studio. And so obviously we had access to a full studio during the entire pandemic. So we were able to throw together the live album, which was a compilation of just actually a large series of Facebook live sessions that we would do on Tuesday nights. And then pretty much took the best performances of that and turned it into a live record. And then, yeah, of course, did the best for us, you know. Yeah, and then
good enough for punk rock.
Yeah, and then we have the 2 singles that we were able to as well fully put together, you know, piece by piece, like we would a full album, anything like that, same quality, and still put that out in the middle of 2020, which was awesome.
So you were just working through the whole thing then.
And yeah,
as much as we could
through all that, like Kevin, you know, that's with Kevin. That's like the 3 of us you hear. Like this is P-FunkNorth. Like this is, you know, we're very, very excited about moving forward and things to come as stuff's opening back up. So very excited, just very excited. I forgot what the question was.
No, he pretty much was saying how you guys had to adapt through at the beginning stages of COVID. Because I mean, just to go off what Brett was saying, I mean, for a lot of people, especially with, you know, being, you know, musicians or artists in general, having to adapt during that whole situation, right? Because you were mentioned that you were doing live streams and all that. And that's one thing too that I took notice of, that a lot of people were actually getting on like Twitch or Facebook Live, kind of just showcasing, you know, whatever you know, new stuff that they got coming out. And you know, because it definitely it hit everybody pretty hard, man. And it's more of, you know, during that time, you have to kind of think to yourself, how am I gonna ride this wave out, and how can I use all this time to my advantage to do something to benefit me as we try to, quote, get out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like Ryan was saying, to touch upon that, like the tip touch that a little bit. So we were fortunate enough to have Ryan and his studio and his abilities and everything. So we were able to put out some good music. Well, good that I think is good. And it's, you know,
hey, I'll vouch for it.
Good is a relative term, but at least good vibes at the very
least.
Sure. But yeah, before that, we have a couple albums. We have Don't Even Ask, we put out a couple years ago, all again produced by Ryan, and
that was literally just the 2 of us, actually.
Wow.
Before Kevin took the plunge.
Okay. I was listening to that one actually before I got on. I got dressed and looking as fresh as I am right now. I was listening to that in the shower. I'm like, damn, this is some good shit.
Oh, nice.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
I saw another video where you were all you looked like a juggalo, and you were doing a band. It was in a bar.
Yeah, that was a live show from years ago. Yeah, I was dressed up as Sting, the wrestler Sting.
Sting. Yes, that's what it was. Okay. It wasn't a juggalo. No, it was.
But juggalo for life. You know what I'm saying? Gather up all juggalos and roll.
Yeah.
Everyone comes to the greatest show.
What? Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So, and that album, we were fortunate enough to get some homies involved with. We got LD on the cut, who is Sublime with Rome's DJ. He tours out with them and does all the scratching for them now. So we're very fortunate. And rumor has it, word on the street, that our next full-length album, which is in production or pre-production, we're getting there real soon.
Yeah.
LD on the cut will be making an appearance. So,
ooh, nice.
We also had our homie Mighty Mystic, who's great, reggae dude as well.
Yep.
And we actually
Massachusetts, right?
Massachusetts.
Yep.
He's his brother, I think, is the current prime minister of Jamaica.
Yeah.
No shit.
Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But either way, he's dope. Like we met him up at a festival we were playing with Badfish, with all these awesome Massachusetts with all these awesome East Coast bands like Ballyhoo and Bumpin' Uglies and Roots of Rebellion, Roots of Creation. Too many to name, but everybody was awesome there. And remember, he's got a funny story from Mighty Mystic. Remember?
Oh yeah,
let's hear it. We got to hear it now.
Yeah, no, he was starting to play Cali Green, you know, and he's right up there on the monitor doing his thing. You know, he's got his groove going while he's playing, and passed him up a blunt. He took a nice big pull, sent that right back, sent it back. Literally was just passing the blunt just as he's on stage playing.
Nice.
Yes. Oh,
Nice.
that is the vibe. That is the vibe, and that is why I get it's so exciting to see people in your world just living your best life.
We're trying.
Yeah. Mine is let's see, what's a typical day for me? Like no, I'm just kidding. I won't go into it. I won't bore you.
Yeah. It's not as fun as you guys, you know. You guys are just putting it out there for us. It's like we're living a boring life over here, you know.
Hey, man.
Being a former songwriter, I want to go back to the pandemic. Did
Really? Nobody else does.
Right. I'm with that. Yeah. Hey, and I applaud all three of you for not wearing your mask for this interview. That's very gracious of you.
They're invisible. We're superheroes. We're vaccinated.
Okay.
Hey, and I had COVID, so my antibodies are working, so I'm good.
2 times.
Can't take me down. They've tried. But
Like chicken pox.
Through
One and done, baby. One and done.
One thing I loved about music is that literally the inspiration. You can be with with some people, you can be alone, you can be inspired by coming from a dark place, or you can be having the best time of your life and you're like, shit, I've got something for that too. So did you guys have some experiences through this past year of where just everything was just crazy? I mean, we saw all the shit going on around us. Did you use some of that to your creative advantage?
I mean, absolutely. Like some of the feels and some of the songs for the new album that we're working on, definitely a little heavier. Like I said, with Kevin's like cool, like grungy influence and just being awesome. And
Nice.
so yeah, like, and then just the struggle for everyone. It was tough times. Like
Right.
we were fortunate enough to be able to do some recording with Ryan and stuff and get some stuff out there and try to get some good vibes out there. So
All My Heroes, of course, really upbeat,
Yeah, of course.
bringing the good vibes. But I mean, if you listen to, Don't Even Ask, there's definitely a lot more serious themes on there as well. And I think for the upcoming album, there's definitely a revisit to that, especially kind of a reflection of what's going on, everything like that.
It's kind of like I like to refer to it as like the Third Eye Blind Semi-Charm Life type thing. It's like it's a fun, poppy, catchy
But we're
song,
talking about some dark shit.
but it's like real dark. If you're like, oh, he
Yeah.
said what? What did he just say?
I couldn't believe that. Like, here we are just dancing, singing along. You're like, wait a minute. We're actually talking about some really dark material here. But, and I thought it was brilliant. I love that type of thing where,
Appreciate it, man.
yeah, you're bobbing your head, you're having a good time, you're listening to radio with your mom. And and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute.
He said, what about crystal meth?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's one thing about reggae. I have always loved. Now, for one, Sublime, I've always been a fan.
I don't care much for reggae.
Really? No way. No.
That's a Sublime thing.
I thought you were serious. Like, whoa, what?
No.
You got me on that one, man. You got me on that one.
I'm a reggae
Yeah,
head.
to be quoted.
It's so funny. Well,
Sorry to take you off track there.
I
it's all
love no.
good.
This
My
is
boy
what the
does this to
tip
me all
touch
the
is all
time, yeah.
about.
Oh, we're gingerly touching our tiptoes through
Yeah.
the
Here we go. We're
Nuts!
That's what we do up in here, man. He
Woo,
throws me off
where
some
was
rails
I?
literally all the time.
Where was
so,
I?
Yeah.
All the time.
But that reggae feel, like, there is something about reggae music where you get in and you're just like, you are caught in that. There's no, like, you can hear a song on the radio and you're just like, oh, okay, I've heard that a million times, right? But whenever I hear a reggae beat, it is a screeching stop in the middle of the interstate and I'm getting off the exit, just like that popular meme, right? And when Eddie was the one that showed me who you guys were, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to check these guys out. And I texted him right back. I'm like, dude, these guys are down my alley. And it's just been incredible, the vibe. And it just brought me back to being young again and that happy feeling. It was incredible. So
that's awesome.
It's been an awesome week. And I just can't wait to hear more music. And I love it. I love
That's
the
why we
feeling.
do it. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys are phenomenal, very talented. So tell us some crazy stories. You guys have been on crazy tours, I'm sure, and I've never heard anybody who's smoked a copious amount of weed and not have good stories.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
No, seriously.
That's true. Kevin, you got a good story? I know you got some funny stories.
Yeah, actually, it involves the old band that I was in. We were down in Texas. Yeah, Experiment 34.
Okay.
Okay.
We were down in Texas for South by Southwest about like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And we had Texas barbecue for the very first time
Oh,
ever.
that's the
And we
bomb.
were like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get everything we want. anything, you know, we're gonna eat it all. So we had a camper that did not have a bathroom, and we were in a trailer park.
Yeah, baby, that's my upbringing.
So the singer was the only one who had the sampler. He had sausage, ribs, like wings and brisket and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we get back to the trailer, and he's like, I gotta go. We had to drive like 5 minutes down the road. I was like, all right, give me a minute. He's like, I'm not gonna make it. So so he goes to the trailer park garbage area where the dumpster is, and it's like 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night, you know, it's pretty dark.
Safe.
It's safe. So
Safe.
he calls me and he goes, hey, I need the wipes. And I said, like, toilet paper. He's like, no, the good shit. I need the baby wipes because we didn't have running water. We weren't showering either.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I go over to bring it to him, and it's just panic in his face. His pants are down at his ankles.
Man.
There's
Duties.
shit everywhere.
Yes.
Oh.
And then I have a flashlight on, and he goes, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. And he's like freaking out.
That's what happens when you smoke weed and get the munchies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He oh my God. So I have never seen him like that.
He had to
That's
go
the first time
really
I ever
bad.
caught him scared, honestly.
That is amazing. And that's nothing that trailer park has never seen before. I'll
Yeah,
guarantee.
exactly. So luckily we were leaving the next day because we went there in the morning and it was a mess. It was
Covered in shit. Better be leaving the next day.
So before we proceed with the next crazy stories, I know Brett can relate because he had a similar little situation before he left. I don't know where I think it was,
I was going to
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Right?
I was taking a little trip to Louisiana,
man.
spend a week. Yeah, the whole thing. But the night before, it was an early morning flight, and the night before, I decided to cook these things. I was like some sort of a meatloaf burrito.
Sort of meat. Okay.
Yeah. And well, long story short, I did not cook the meat all the way. And so I'm halfway through this burrito, and I'm like, man, this meat is pretty mushy. And I put my finger in it, and it's just, I mean, it's just as warm as what it was when I put it in the oven. And so I'm like, man, I hope that doesn't hit me in the morning. Sure as shit, I'm driving, and I get to my parking ride, and I'm about 5 minutes there, and I'm like, I could feel the bubble guts, right? I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna explode. I'm starting to sweat. I'm getting nervous, and I get to the parking ride, and there's just no one there. Right now, I'm like, I've got to drop trowel right now. I gotta go. And so I there was nobody looking. It was pitch black. I'm looking for cameras and everything. I just drop trowel, and I'm trying to aim on the floor, right on the asphalt. There's no aim. And when I just let go, it looked like it was just spray all over my wife's car rim. I drove my wife's car, and it got all over her rim.
Good call. That worked out for you.
And of course, I had to take a picture to prove it because I had to show Eddie the picture. I'm like, dude, this is too much of a mess not to capture.
He's like, what the fuck?
No, I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, did you throw up or what? I don't get it.
It was so bad.
And I look closer. I'm like, oh
So
my
bad.
god,
Other
no
end.
fucking way.
It was, and I'm just like, how did that much come out of me so quickly? And I was in that situation where I didn't have any wipes or anything on me. I just pull up my pants and I'm squeezing in, just hoping that nothing leaks so I can get to the airport. And
That's a dangerous game, man.
it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh my God.
And then, so then I'm in Louisiana, and I'm calling my wife, right? And I go, hey, hoping for rain, of course. I go, hey, how's the weather over there? And she goes, it's been sunny and 70 degrees every day. And I'm just thinking, just getting baked on the rim. Oh, yeah, I came back and it was permeated into it.
That's
That brought back that memory.
Yeah, I'm a high class type of guy, if you haven't been able to tell.
top shelf status.
Top shelf.
So to steer it away from feces,
Yeah. I don't know why. I always bring
Thank
it.
you.
it happens, man. Those are funny stories. what's the story? Let's see. Oh, one time we were at band camp.
Yeah, I was there with you.
Infamous line.
I remember because you had your shirt off and it was like a bear.
That's exactly what it
That was
was.
you, right?
Sasquatch, actually, but yeah, asshole.
No, but speaking of like stoner, like crazy stories, and like we've been fortunate enough to smoke with some of like our heroes and like our heroes or our potheads. Like,
Yes.
I don't know if you ever listen to Swayze, but we opened for Swayze. We did a little hip hop show, and we played with him, and we played with the Whale. We opened for the
Whalers.
We opened for the Whalers, and we smoked with a couple of those guys. The drummer, who's the son of Aston Barrett, who's the original bassist, and his uncle Carlton Barrett was the original drummer for the Whalers. So we were just chilling with them in Jersey City. Doity Joyzy, big ups. And like, there was lots of laughs to be had, lots of like hazy moments. So just very, very fortunate, like just very grateful and can't complain.
Yeah. So is this is it where like, hey, we've got this kind of weed over in Jersey, and then you've got people coming from the West Coast, and you're like, hey, I'll trade you. You guys just swap different strains.
I'll trade you my shirt for a grilled cheese.
Where is some of the best weed? Where does the best weed come from?
Yeah, I want to hear
I'm
this.
thinking West Coast.
It is West Coast.
Yeah.
Some of our people, like I heard, they're getting it from the West Coast, definitely like Cali.
The best shit you get is coming from
Oregon,
West Coast or Colorado,
Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Washington. Okay.
What
Fries
about,
are done. We'll be right back. You guys want fries?
after these messages?
We'll be right back.
Woo, woo.
So what were where could you say were some of like your like the best places to perform, or the places where you could say it was like, damn, that crowd was insane? Were there any like top, I guess, 3 spots where you could say like, damn, we definitely want to go back to that area, or stay, or town, or whatever you call it?
I mean, there's been a lot of, we've been very, like I said, we're just very fortunate to be able to be playing some of these cool spots and like just spreading the good vibes and just having good times. But if we had to pick, I mean, what are your favorite places?
Definitely say White Eagle Hall was a lot of fun to play. Starland Ballroom, of course, just live with us.
Yeah.
And Stone Pony, we had one particular show where it was sold out, and it was strictly the indoor pony. So it was like, I mean, we're in there like sardines in there, freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Thinking now, especially post COVID, it's like crazy to think of. But
Right.
Yeah, it was Bad Fish. It was sold out, and we were direct support. And we have a video somewhere Dave took of like just the crowd, like just taking like a quick video in between songs, and it was
madness.
It's literally madness. Like
Wow.
it's like absolutely ridiculous. There wasn't any room in there.
And big ups to Bad Fish. We played with him quite a few times. Our boy Dorian, we burned with him afterwards at Stanhope. Not Stanhope, Stone Pony.
Probably Stanhope.
Stanhope House is another place that we played quite a bit and enjoy.
Yep, Stanhope.
House of Independence.
House of
I
Independence.
was just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's like,
Damn.
and most of these places are like Jersey places, but like they're cool places. I remember being younger and thinking like, fuck man, like these bands are legit. Like how the fuck would we ever play here? How am I gonna get to play here? And now like we're fortunate enough to be playing these places, and now we're just setting our sights even farther and bigger. We're just spreading the good vibes and having fun, because we just want to travel and have fun.
That's the
what's
life
up,
right
man.
there. Is it hard making money on the road and being able to support? Because it's not cheap. None of that. The music industry is not cheap.
Yeah.
No. Well, it kind of depends, but the short answer is no, you don't make money and stuff.
It's really tough.
We found a couple spots, like, because we kind of built up in New Brunswick, New Jersey, which is like Rutgers. I don't know if you're familiar with Rutgers. Like that's the college area. That's like the big spot at Blackthorn and Old Bay previously. And big ups to Tommy, whoop, whoop, who's gonna hook us up in his bar down in New Orleans. That's right, Tommy. Get ready.
New Orleans,
Nice.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
So we kind of got it going over in New Brunswick, and
Pretty much we have a number of like different places where we in addition to all of our original music, we'll pretty much put our own spin, the reggae rock spin on a whole bunch of different tracks, and go in places like Blackthorn and whatnot, and just go in there and play for like 2-3 hours, just jam it out. And usually that for the most part, that's how we make our money. Well, of course the bigger shows sometimes will pay as well. Totally depends on the situation. But
some of these
stuff
spots,
too,
like it's working out nicely for us, because we're able to have fun and make a couple dollars because nothing's cheap.
Sure.
Kevin, speaking of like, just because some of these party gigs, we play originals, we pepper them in and out, but we do a lot of covers just to keep the party going and get people going crazy. Kevin, what are some of your favorite covers that we do?
Definitely Clint Eastwood. Or the
Gorillas,
McDonald's theme. That one.
I'm loving it. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
like a second.
really?
Yeah, just do it real quick, just like that. Yeah.
Or we'll throw it retro, be like, have you had your break today? Or is that Knick Knack? I don't know. We're messing shit up.
Oh man, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. We do like an hour of theme songs, and that's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do King of the Hill. I do Full House. We do Seinfeld.
That is awesome. Wow.
Do you guys do the South Park one?
Not yet.
Oh,
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
Together, ready to go.
We got to do it. Oh, we also do the Arthur theme song from the PBS show. Like
Yeah.
Rudimental. That's a reggae song. People don't even realize it. It's I believe it's Ziggy Marley.
Oh,
And the
really?
Makers. Yeah, people don't even.
Interesting.
Yeah, so revisit that. You're gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, holy crap.
I'll have to listen to
Wow.
that.
'Cause I was like, oh shit, yeah, holy crap.
So going back to as you were saying that you were growing up and you were hoping that you would perform at these places, but how does it feel for all you guys when you perform, when you see just the crowd like they're kind of like vibing to your music? Like what kind of feeling do you guys get from that? Like does it motivate you more? Like damn, like we're really want to just take this even further and just perform in front of a more massive crowd?
Going to work the next day after playing a show where you're playing in front of like a huge crowd that is like freaking going nuts and whatnot. Oh man, like you just want to get back right on that stage like immediately.
Yeah, that we call it that post-show depression is real. We're like,
Oh,
damn,
man.
like punching in. Like last night was a party, now it's like back to reality.
A
Oh.
giant come down from there.
Party's
Yeah,
over.
playing those shows, there's nothing else like it. I mean,
It's really like it's like a drug. It's like adrenaline. You get this vibe because you're feeding off the energy and you're getting energy and it's reciprocating. It's going back and forth and everyone's just there to forget about everything for a minute and just rock out and just live in that moment of the music, which is a universal language, and you just fucking vibe it. And like at that moment, nothing else matters. Like Metallica would say.
I heard him say that one time.
Kevin, your thoughts?
Honestly, yeah, that's like the best part is just watching people react to like what you're playing. How they like you're making a connection with them. They can be complete strangers and like they're reacting to your music that you're playing,
Yes.
It's really rewarding.
And this guy, he's very modest, like the mouse, but he, not Mickey Mouse. We're not trying to get sued for copyright. But this guy, like, he's a beast on the guitar. He starts ripping out these crazy solos, and like, everyone just starts filming him, and like everyone just like walks over, and Ryan and I over there were just crying to each other, like nobody cares about us.
Every dog has his day. Well, I forgot where I was going. I think the whiskey.
Hey man, at least you're not driving.
Yeah.
I'm covered in shit.
It must be a time for another drink.
There you go. I'll drink to that. I'm on that H2O.
I see you guys are doing it. I know Eddie. He's drinking the OJ. So,
and water too. Yeah,
that's good, man.
I'm the only degenerate amongst us.
Nah, man, we gotta drive, so.
Okay.
But why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly? Woo!
There you go. Heard that a few times.
Cheap plug. Self-promotion.
Where was I going with this? I don't know where I was going. Oh my God.
Have you guys ever performed up here in the like over here in the Seattle area?
No, we played some festivals. We did where did we play?
Bedford,
PA, this big festival with like Bumpin' Uglies and Tropidelic, all these awesome bands. We've also played festivals in Baltimore. We've gone up to Massachusetts. We went up to New Hampshire or Vermont, one of those two. They're like interchangeable, but just don't tell them that.
I mean, P-Funk toured out to pretty much like Chicago and back, and it was like Chicago, Detroit,
Indianapolis,
Columbus, Cleveland.
But we've gotten to the Midwest, but we haven't gone past it. We went down to Florida and back. We did that. That's when we first met.
Florida?
Right? No. That's not when we first met. The Florida tour was right before we met.
Yeah.
But that was cool. We had like Georgia and Tennessee and one of the Carolinas on the way up.
One of them.
So, but we do a lot in Jersey and like kind of this area, Baltimore. I think I said that already. But either way, we're looking to come out west. We were actually talking with the homies on the Stoned Age podcast. I don't know if you know those guys over there, but they're Arizona based, and we're friends with. We made friends with this band, the Irie, out of Arizona, and Fayuca, big ups. They're all out there, so we're looking to go out west and
Cool.
make our way up. So we'll have to
Man.
come see you guys.
Oh yeah,
We would
definitely.
love that.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think you guys would really tap a vein into here. Obviously, you know, we are West Coast, so we're all about our Sublime. We're all about now. Is Badfish from the West Coast too? What was
They're
the
from
other one?
Rhode Island?
Oh, they're from Rhode. Okay, maybe who's the one? Oh, I'm thinking of Long Beach.
Dub All Stars.
Dub All Stars, and then what about Strictly Stupid? Where are they from?
Slightly stupid.
Slightly Stupid. Thank you. Ugh, I didn't say that.
It's all good.
Yeah.
They're from the West Coast. They were actually, they're from Cali. They were actually signed by Brad from Sublime when they were in high school to Skunk Records. Little fun fact for you guys.
Huh.
And but yeah, they're from Cali. So yeah, they're dope guys. We tried to get on a couple shows with them, but not yet. But we will. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That I think they were the only name that I didn't see on your list. I'm like, oh, you got to get them on there. It's gonna happen. It's only because they're waiting for you to come to the West Coast.
In due time, you know, we got to get out there. Our homies, Tunnel Vision, on the West Coast. We love Tunnel Vision, and there's more bands, but they stick out for me because they're the homies. So
yeah.
They had that's a crazy. I got a crazy story for you.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So, are you guys familiar with Peter Dante? He was in a lot of Adam Sandler movies. You'd recognize when we saw him. He's in Grandma's Boy. Either way, so he was touring with Tunnel Vision. They're playing. They were coming to Jersey. I was working at a car dealership. It's like 7 a.m. No, it was probably like 11 a.m. And they hit us up, and they were like, "Hey, we're running late to Jersey. Can you guys play at the bottom of Jersey, like a 3-hour drive for me? And I'm at work, mind you, till like supposedly 5 o'clock. They want us to play at 6 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So naturally, I'm like, oh, Tunnel Vision, Law Records, big ups, the West Coast. They want us to help them out. What do? You help them out. So I dipped out of work. I drove down the fucking Parkway, and it was Ryan and I. We did an acoustic set to just kind of cover for them, and that's where we met Peter Dante and took some shots. And so that was a crazy time. And then after being there for 3 hours, drove 3 hours back to go to work the next morning, and then had the post-show depression.
Yep.
Savage.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Life in the band.
I wanted to call out, but I didn't.
The money calls. The money calls.
Do you guys like capture this stuff on your YouTube channel where you guys are like, because I think people would love to hear that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's the video from Dante.
Well,
we did have Dante actually. He filmed like a video.
A little PSA, I like to call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's why we're here on the Tip Touch podcast to get it going. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
Yeah,
we're gonna make it happen right here. Yeah. Okay.
Make it happen.
Who's the biggest celebrity that you met then? We're talking about celebrities.
Dang, there's a list.
It went radio silent.
That's tough. Because
they're all big.
Some people that we may think are celebrities. Celebrity is kind of a relative term, you know what I mean? So they might not be like super pop famous celebrities, but like for me, when we played with Eve 6, like that was crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Taylor Hawkins
from Foo Fighters.
Taylor Hawkins.
Oh, wow.
And Alanis Morissette.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I'm broke, but I'm happy.
We got to open for Creed Bratton from The Office.
Yeah, if you ever watched The Office.
Creed Bratton, really?
Yeah, we played a show with him.
Shit.
It was awesome. He did like kind of a storyteller. He played some acoustic songs in between and did some stories and stuff. And he was really cool. Speaking of The Office, I don't know if you guys like The Office. We're huge.
I love The
Office
right here.
We I would say this might be the biggest celebrity in my eyes.
That was really
we hung out with Mr. Craig Robinson. We took Patron shots with Craig Robinson after we played at the Blackthorn in New Brunswick because he was performing at the Stress Factory across the street. He came over after the set and the bar was shut down, but he was friends with the owner because the owner's a stand-up comic. Big ups, Tommy. Whoop, whoop. So Craig came over and we were just shooting the shit and he's like, hey man, I wish we could all just get together at my place and watch American Dad.
Season 2.
Oh, whoa. That's sick.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah, so we were drinking and chilling with him, and that was really cool because it was just us. It was like maybe 10 people in there because the bar was closed, and it was epic. And actually, right before COVID hit, we were gonna be playing the same night again, where he was gonna be across the street. We were potentially gonna have him come over and jam with us, but
Gotta bring a keyboard.
we had to bring a keyboard, but that was the plan, and then everything came to a screeching halt. So, but in the future, we're gonna keep it going. But yeah, definitely, that was crazy. Craig Robinson.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
forgot.
sick.
You guys remember Tom Green?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Fucking
Tom
OG,
Green show.
man.
This is the Tom Green show.
Yeah.
We took whiskey shots with Tom Green at the same place at Blackthorn because he was at Stress Factory.
Dude, is
Dude,
he
I'm fucking jealous.
chill?
I'm fucking
Is he
jealous.
chill, or how is he?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too. How is he in person? Because
Oh.
and like on TV, when I would see him, it seemed to me like he was very just laid back, chill dude, and all that. Even now, because he does like a podcast, like he's living in his van with his dog, right?
Yep. Living the
And
dream.
it just seems like he's like a really laid back type of dude. But obviously, there's always that like in person, he's actually this this type of individual.
Yeah, he was super cool. Like, he was actually asking about he's like, oh, when you guys put out music and how do you do it on the platform, this and that, because he was just starting up to do his music again, because he had
Oh,
put out the
okay.
music. So I was telling him how you kind of just pay to get on all the main spots, and then that's how it happened. But he's like, so people pay to download. I'm like, well, most people just use Spotify and stuff where it's free. He's like, so why does anyone pay for music? And I was like,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Funny.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's funny because I've heard him on Joe Rogan
Yeah.
literally talking about the same stuff. Like when he was on MTV, he decided, okay, I'm done with MTV. I'm gonna make my own home studio. And did you guys ever watch any of those early episodes where he set it up like it was a talk show, late night talk show?
Yeah.
That was so wild, and he was so ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. But he was really chill, really cool. We were
Wow.
talking about the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, right. There's something about the Canadians.
I love Tom Green, and
He's Canadian, right?
he is Canadian.
Yeah, he is.
Funny
yeah.
because we were drinking Bushmills, which is Canadian whiskey, because he and but he was just really chill. And since I was outside, and I was like, hey man, I don't know the next time I'm going to be standing right next to you. So I just want to say something. Like, I used to watch the Tom Green show, and there was this one episode in particular where he threw all these baby dolls off the overpass and they were scratching the cars. And I was like, bro, that was hilarious. Thank you.
Oh God.
Because I don't know the next time I'll be standing right next to you to tell you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you.
Oh God.
That's
Yeah.
funny
I think
as
that
hell.
was him doing that stuff created the Jackass. It paved the way for Jackass.
Oh,
to come.
hell yeah. All
Oh.
that crazy stuff on MTV.
Yeah,
God,
there
those were the
you
days,
talk
man.
about that, and that reminds me. I think it was Jackass, but it could have been Tom Green. But I think it was Jackass where they had the hearse and they parked it on the hill, and the door, when they opened the door, it just came crashing out. And everybody thought there was a body in there. Like, oh my God,
Oh man, TV just isn't what it used to be,
the stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
Americans find hilarious. We are a different breed out here.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Dude, that's
man.
awesome though. You've ran into some really, I would think, some high profile people that but that's cool about you guys touring, because you put yourself into these situations, and I think that's the original way to really network. You actually run into these people doing these gigs.
Mhm.
And it's almost kind of with that story you were saying, you were working at the car dealership, and it was almost kind of you took just the leap of faith to just go ahead and do it, and it's gonna pan out. It's all part of the process to
Yeah.
where it's gonna benefit you down in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. A lot of
That's
people
dope.
don't understand that.
Dude, yeah, no,
Yep,
that's
yep.
dope. Props to you,
So,
man.
so do you guys get support from your parents? Because your parents are obviously seeing you, and they want
We have the
they're
best parents. We are super lucky.
Awesome.
That's good.
They're great. I mean, his parents, they put up with us. They let us, when we have to practice there and stuff, they're really cool about it. His parents, they share and stuff. My parents have always been very supportive. They've all been supportive. Remember when his mom, he told me a story. His mom drove you up to, didn't she drive you up to the show when you were
What,
sick?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was in the emergency room, and I was supposed to actually, this was like back when I was living in Connecticut. I was playing metal back when I had a show where I was opening for Overkill up in Connecticut. And I was literally like in the emergency room, and they were just like,
wow.
yeah, you shouldn't drum. Like you should stay home. Like don't go anywhere. Like stay home, go home, stay home. And that's it. And I was like, yeah, I'm playing a metal show in Connecticut tomorrow night. And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I was like, well, I'm gonna do it. I was like, so do you have any like advice or like, you know?
Yeah, don't.
So
Don't.
So yeah, pretty much. You know, my mom was like, yeah, like you're not driving up there yourself. Like I'm bringing you up there because like literally like, you know, in case anything happens, like, you know. And so yeah, pretty much ended up playing that show and pretty much came right back as soon as I finished playing. But
Wow.
couldn't not play the show, man. You know, just not gonna bail out.
I hear you guys, and I love the fact that you guys had parents.
Yeah.
Well, you just got real Batman all of a sudden.
No, just kidding. I want to make it.
He got
awkward.
you for the first one.
We are going to throw you guys off. Yeah, this is the tip touch.
He's good at it. He's good at it. I'm telling you.
We're gonna throw you all. Eddie, he's like, he's always like, why do you do that? Why do you, you know? It's like
so serious,
it's
and
like
I'm like
psychological chicken. You know, like,
he fucks with me like all the
who's
time.
gonna blink first?
Yeah.
Break it down.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll share a thing about my parents. So one time I was doing a hip hop show, and I did hip hop in the early days. My biggest claim to fame I can ever say is I opened for Sir Mix-a-Lot one time.
That's
And,
awesome.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. But there was this other show we were doing locally, and there was this rapper from ATL, and his name was Money Mike. Right. And so in Montana, we're like, I would say a close 98, 99% Caucasian. And so Mike, he's black, and his whole crew is black. And so he's getting all the attention, you know, from all the locals. And so he knew that I was a rapper. And I always wanted to like reach out, like, hey, what's cool? We should collaborate sometime. We should, you know, jump in the studio. He wanted no part of me. It was like there was beef. And I didn't understand it, right? And so one time I'm at this show, and me and one of my girls, she was rapping with me. She was also the singer. We put on a show, and my parents, they wanted to see it. They're like, we want to see what our kid is doing, you know. So I'm like, all right, yeah, you can come to the show. Well, what they saved me that night. They saved me from some beef. Because what had happened with Money Mike and his crew, his cronies, his goons, they had this whole like I was a big like banquet hall that we were in, and they had all these coolers staged all around the stage, like up on the balconies or whatever, full of water balloons. So his idea was he was going to sabotage my set with water balloons. My parents were there to save me from this. They see Money Mike, and they see all of his friends all around the cooler, and they're like, no. We came here to see him. Get away from the coolers. They said.
Clutch.
Imagine if they had guns.
Yeah. Well, we had more.
That's great. Yeah, man.
We don't talk about that. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, very fortunate for having supportive parents. I don't know if you want to change. Like, I don't know if you guys have anything else. But.
Yeah, I mean, my parents have always been there for me musically.
Yeah.
Just
awesome.
Musically, really. No, I'm just kidding. They've always been there.
He has to buy his own food.
So like I wouldn't be playing music if it wasn't for my parents. You know, there was
really?
always guitars around my house. There's always musical instruments. My dad's a guitar player. He plays bass. He's been in bands.
Yep.
My mom plays a little bit of piano. She sings. So like growing up with that, it definitely helped me and it molded me as like the musician that I am today.
That's
So
awesome.
that was my parents.
Yeah, big
That's
ups to
awesome.
my parents too for always supporting everything I wanted to do. When I wanted a drum set in 6th grade, I got it. And
Oh
then,
man, and I can just hear it. I can hear it as a parent.
all our neighbors hated us for a while. But either way, fuck them.
Love it.
Fuck 'em if they can't take a joke.
But they've always been very supportive. And I remember one time in particular, we were playing at a barbecue, which would open the door for us to get like a monthly residency at a sweet venue in New Brunswick. So we're playing this barbecue almost as like the tryout, because I had played with my old band and that was like the connection. I'm like, well, check out this new band, like you'll love it. We forgot to, by we, I mean the drummer at the time, not Ryan, he's on point. The drummer at the time forgot the bass drum pedal. So there was no bass drum pedal. So I called my dad, and my dad drove like an hour with my bass drum pedal. But I don't think I ever got back. That's neither here nor there. And dropped it off at the show, and we were able to play and have a bass drum, which is kind of important for a drum set. And then it led to us getting the monthly residency, and we've been playing there for years. So
that's awesome,
man. Props
that came through.
Pops.
Shout out to Pops.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, everyone's great.
Yeah.
So if it's one thing or one piece of advice you can give any like up and coming band or anybody that was in your position maybe at the very beginning of this, like what would it be? I guess you could say 2 important things you would tell him or her.
I would say number 1, make rejection your best friend, because you're gonna hear a lot more no's than you hear yes. And number 2, as cliche as it sounds, don't give up, because right as you give up and you accept that it's done, like then it is done. You know, it's whether you can or you think you can or you can't, you're right. So you just gotta just keep going and make rejection your best friend, because now almost we've all been playing 10, 15 years apart, but then together now for a couple of years. Like, you know, we know that, like, I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about.
It was just advice, but no, I think that
you gotta just keep going and don't let rejection stop you, and you'll find the right people, and it'll work out. But if you give up, that's it.
That advice, I'll tell you, like that's the same advice I took for dating. I got used to a lot of rejection, and I just told myself, don't give up. She's out there. Don't give up, you know. And finally,
and you're married, like
two weeks ago, I met the love of my life, and brought her from overseas, and now we're married. Yeah. I haven't seen her, but
14-day fiance, bro.
That's what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I was on 90 Day Fiance. We actually were on that show. And
really?
We were, second season.
You happened to bring that up, and what are the odds?
I threw a couple of hints out there.
What season?
You caught on. You're a quick one.
What season and which episode?
We were the second season. We've done. There was one spinoff that we did, and then we did a quarantine special.
I got a spinoff.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's funny. Sometimes I feel like we make them mad at the TLC family, because you know they call us and they're always so good. They've always been so good to us as far as like, hey, people want to hear your your story. They want to keep up with you guys. But one thing they always ask us to do is like promote them. And it's not that I don't like. It's just that I have a really hard time promoting. Like I'm not like, it's because I feel like in a way it's like, hey, look at me.
Yeah,
and I'm like the last one that wants to be on camera anyway. Like the whole reason why we ended up on TV was because I thought it was a documentary, and I thought it was just gonna be like one episode. It ended up being an entire season, and I'm like, this is insane. I didn't know what this was going on.
Did you read anything? Was there a contract?
Yeah. Well, after I signed the contract, I figured it out. But there were people that I would go to work and they would cry. These moms, these people like my mom's age would cry because they were like, "You're making the biggest mistake of your life," and I'm like, "It's just TV. It's not." Yeah. So, hey, TLC, we love you. We,
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah.
I just suck at promotion. Self-promotion, that is. Yeah.
Wait, you're John and Kate plus 8.
Well, if you think the 8 I'm holding, I haven't given birth to yet. They're coming.
One of these days.
Thought I recognized you.
Yeah, the whole DJ thing, isn't that what John ended up doing after his divorce thing? He was just out being a DJ at like 50.
Yeah, why not live the dream?
Hey, it's never too late, right?
Hey, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, Eddie, do you have anything else that you want to bring up? Sorry, that's a COVID cough.
No, I mean, I just don't. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. I know it's pretty late. You're on Eastern time, and we're obviously on Pacific Standard Time. So, if we're good on closing out, I mean, we can do it now and let these guys, go about their day, and we'll definitely. Again, thank you guys for coming through. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome guys. Very
North is in the motherfucking house.
The virtual studio. But let the people know where they can find your music and your socials and all that stuff, just where they can check out your music and your video content, and let the people know right now where they can find you at.
So find us on all major music outlets, anywhere you listen to music. All the social medias, well, not all of them, but we're on Instagram, Facebook. All information is on P-FunkNorth.com. Feel free to give us a follow on Spotify, but no pressure. So yeah, anywhere you listen to music, you'll find us. We've been fortunate enough to be getting some radio airplay in Connecticut and Dirty Jersey, and that's just shameless self-promotion as well. But either way,
I love it.
All information at pfunknorth.com. And that's pretty much it. And right here on the Tip Touch podcast.
That's right. And you're easy to find on the internet. I looked them up and saw a couple things you might want to get off the internet, but we'll leave that for off the episode.
Who's to say?
No, we leave it. We put it up there. Yeah.
And we'll definitely plug up all their links when the video drops as well under the description, so you can have direct access to find every platform that they're on.
We do have a YouTube page as well.
Okay.
We're revamping that still. We're going to be putting more content up there, but
cool.
Our latest single / music video, All My Heroes Are Potheads, is up on there, so check it out.
Awesome. And we will promote
our girlfriends are filming it.
We will promote that on the Tip Touch page. Yeah, you guys, Dave, Ryan, Kevin, you guys, what? Oh yeah. Oh well, there's a story. We'll explain the story someday. But you get it. You get it. But yeah, Dave, Ryan, Kevin, you guys, thank you so much for coming on and taking your time out and just sharing your stories and your lives.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Thanks for picking our brains.
Definitely.
And sharing voodoo stories.
Yeah.
What it's all about, baby.
Life's a crapshoot.
Eddie, do you want to? Is that how it's ended?
No. So definitely go check out all our previous content, and of course follow us on Instagram at the Tip Touch Podcast for all the latest and greatest and up to dates on what we got going on. And definitely go check out our good friends P-FunkNorth, pfunknorth.com, baby. Awesome people, awesome band. Dude, the works, and we'll definitely want to see them in concert sometime when they come up here in the Pacific Northwest. But till then, take care, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good week, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace.
Smoke one.